Now everybody, let me tell you a story about Hollywood shame, where terrible actors and scripts collide. Oh, what a mess it is on the other side. Saw the lights, camera, action begin, but all I got was a movie that plunged in a spin. From the first scene to the credits that roll, a Hollywood disaster, you've taken its toll. Silver screen cesspool, bad movies galore. Can't help but wonder what the hell were they making these for? Throw in some cliches, the sharp and predictable plot. It's a train wreck, I tell you, it's all they ever got.
And now for our feature presentation.
Welcome to the Silver Screen Cesspool, where we review the pool. And now your host, the surveyor of cinema, the mocker of moronic movies, the terror of tiny town, the last known survivor of battlefield Earth, the one of many, Alan Smith E.
Tonight's film fart is Trail of the Screaming Forehead from 2007, filmed in craniovision. And unlike some other cinematic cesspools I've reviewed here, this movie has faces you might recognize. Like that guy who played the evil TV station owner in the Weird Al movie UHF, and that guy who played a cab driver on Spencer for Hire in one episode. Also, I think the bartender was in Gremlins. So the plot is clearly based on a fever dream, based on a misheard lyric of They Might Be Giants. A sentient alien forehead is taking over people's brains in the town of Longhead Bay. No, scratch that. Taking over people's foreheads. Because people think with their foreheads, not their brains. The scientist Dr. Shiela, who postulated this theory, thinks that the scientific community has rejected it because she's a woman and not because it's horribly, horribly stupid. Our hero, Big Dan Frater, played by Brian Howe, best known for being that guy from That One Thing, dons his best Skipper from Gilligan's Island costume and with his first mate stays in the local B&B to get his land legs for a day. But an alien forehead has taken over the body of the owner of the B&B, and that owner is played by that other guy from That Other Thing. Alien foreheads are slowly taking over the bodies of all the townspeople. Meanwhile, our forehead scientist Dr. Shiela is creating artificially enhanced foreheads with her fellow scientist / lab partner using the compound she discovered, foreheadazine. Oh, God. Big Dan Frater, his first mate and his first mate's crush, the local librarian Millie, start to suspect something is amiss when they stumble upon a free-roaming forehead. Say, that looks like a forehead. No, it looks like the discarded foreskin of a circumcised albino rhino. Big Dan Frater stabs the forehead with a stick and saves them all. Oh, the drama. So, Dude Scientist's forehead is slowly growing, arousing the suspicion of his wife, and the alien foreheads claim town person after townsperson by giving them head. Oh, did I really write that? Okay, well. Also arousing suspicion is the fact everyone is checking out books on foreheads from the local library where Millie works. Books like The Dr. Seuss classic Green Eggs and Foreheads, Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Forehead, Douglas Adams' The Forehead's Guide to the Galaxy, and of course, George Orwell's 1984 Head. So to be clear here, there are alien foreheads, artificially enhanced foreheads, and 100% American-made regular human foreheads. And there's a warhead brewing between them or something. The alien world the foreheads come from is very similar to ours, except different. And this is explained in those exact words by the only talking alien forehead. Also, the prosthetic forehead makes your head swell up like you're the Ginger Dead Man. Another wonderful movie. The Mark McGuire of foreheads feels guilty, though, for looking at other women and also misunderstanding what his sexy lab partner meant when she promised to make his head swell. But the alien foreheads definitely look like normal foreheads and not like giant globs of silly putty stuck to somebody's forehead. The prosthetic makeup artist for Trail of the Screaming Foreheads is Frank Gipp, who was a contestant during seasons 1 and 5 of the sci-fi special effects makeup reality competition series Face Off. Spoiler alert, he didn't win. Thankfully, before the day of the forehead is upon us, our heroes spring into action with a foolproof plan that's somehow not just wearing hats. But they do eventually defeat them in a similar way to one would defeat attacking killer tomatoes. Apparently the sound of ringing bells repel alien foreheads. So our trio of heroes grab every bell they can find. Jingle bells, handbells, taco bells, and use them to chase away the aliens with a little help from the ringing of not one, but 2 working payphones. Which, believe it or not, is the most unrealistic part of this whole movie. But alas, the alien forehead wearers are only temporarily repelled because they went to the dollar store and bought earplugs. Artificial forehead guy, to redeem himself, saves the day by pulling the fire alarm, and that ringing bell kills all the non-human foreheads, including himself, but not before his forehead returns to normal. Perhaps the most disappointing part of Trail of the Screaming Forehead is that during the entire movie, not a single forehead screams or even raises its voice, especially since the movie instructs us to remember that when your forehead is screaming, it's screaming, "I love you." Now that I think about it, there's no trail in this movie either. Out of a possible 10 on the Shermometer, I'd give this movie a 4. Head. Trail of the Screaming Forehead is now available streaming on Tubi.
Silver Screen Cesspool is written, directed, and starring Alan Smithy. Assistant director, producer, and stunt coordinator, Alan Smithy. Boom mic operator, sound editing, and music by Alan Smithy. Construction coordinator, The Amazing Rando. Makeup by Crayola. Catering was provided by the Soylent Corporation. Alan Smithy will be back in Return of the Curse of the Planet of the Prehistoric Bikini Ninjas versus Kingdom of the Bride of the Killer, Shark Cheerleaders 2, Electric Boogaloo.